Hello, peeps and hello, peppers, and welcome to Film Friday, filmed on Sunday, because I was really busy and fulfilled with the Autism Art Festival, Marklito Mars. I usually don't advertise products and events here, but this is really my and our community event of the year. So and I built myself a new playing table here, out of a painting canvas with my favorite blanket, because today I want to recite a movie that has actually inspired me all my life because it comes so naturally, and which has a new significance in the preparation of this exhibition, because there is a character who explains to a young woman that like everything she is trying to do is already within her, and like he also talks about the paintings of Chagall, and this is like a remotely similar style. And the new tarot deck that I wanted to premiere also reminds me a little bit of Chagall. That's why I purchased it. So the film is called Beyond Silence, or like in German, the original language, Jenseits der Stille. There is this young girl named Lara, who hears, and her parents are both like deaf mute, and like they only speak sign language. I know this also in reality may vary from individual to individual if someone wants to and can use like verbal speech. But okay, this couple only communicates via sign language, and Lara operates as their translator. I find the film very well made, but I probably wouldn't load such permanent duties on my child. If you've never been here, I have autism and a relatively heavy physical disability, so I also rely on outside assistance, but I do my best to only ask people for help who can actually do that, also mentally. Eight of ear. The ear element is mostly like the Eight of Swords, and the Eight and the Nine of Swords often have something to do with panic, with one's own thoughts. So, like in the beginning of the movie, Lara is like 9 years old. There, you don't think so much about the future yet, and let's say to small children, the parents sometimes seem like God Almighty. So children imitate whatever adults do often. So Lara doesn't question her role all too much and just translates for the parents because it's a natural thing. But the parents themselves sometimes think about what will happen. Like they literally tell a teacher that their daughter has to leave classes sometimes earlier because in this small town you wouldn't find a proper translator. And I just found an extra card. Let's turn it. Like the film is from 1997. I don't know if that would still happen the same way today. Like Page of Fire. Fire is usually like the ones. Yeah, she could remind me a little bit of Lara, like going her own way. Like a white tiger is sort of unusual. Lara also like gets bullied in her class. But then her aunt gives her literally an instrument. I would like to say a tool, but yes, it is an instrument. It's a clarinet. And I've tried to blow into a clarinet when I was a teenager and it didn't work. And the aunt in the film actually explains how it works. And because the girl right away manages to make one noise, the aunt says, "Oh, you are a talent." And actually, this becomes more than a talent, this becomes a passion. And there the problem begins. Because, like later in the movie, you learn that the father is actually triggered by this clarinet and by the aunt, because the aunt um, always practiced for events and he didn't know what was going on. And so he laughed at her practices and performances. And actually, this part of the film always comes to my mind when people of the local deaf community here say that they are kind of always the last ones to get information. And actually, this is where I see myself in the father, because like with my autism, I'm always the last to get information, and often other people don't realize they would have to explain to me differently. Messenger or fire. Of course, here the messenger is always something with explaining. Yes, and the ones are always something with movement. So I think that is still a little bit missing to explain, especially to the father, what is going on. Like one of the most tricky parts of the movie is always also like, let's say he works in a print shop, which I of course find a cool job because I like printed products. And yeah, this is about around Christmas where the where like Lara enters the print shop and the hearing guy who runs the print shop asks her, tell me, has Martin noticed that we don't have a Christmas bonus this year? No, if that's something bad, tell him yourself. And then it's the question how to tell him yourself, because like let's say a more recent deaf film called Sorda, a Spanish one, actually illustrated really well how this lip reading works or not. So the woman who lip reads can get like minimal information from lip reading. And sometimes the film imitates sounds like as if hearing through water. But she will never get the full context. And like a Christmas bonus payment is something relatively complex. And let's say if I understand the family dynamics in Beyond Silence correctly, the father is the sole breadwinner and the mother is a housewife. And she is like such happy-go-lucky and cheerful and positive. And she, I think, actually compensates for the man's bitterness. 9 of Air is a little bit spreading the wings. Like Lara at some point asks her mom, why can't you ride a bike? The mom says her ears have a problem with like balance. And then Lara pushes her, like, I want you to learn it because all the normal mothers can ride a bike, which, of course, like today I would tell my child, hey, I'm not a normal mother. And some things we just have to settle for that I can't do them. But let's say because the mother is so cheerful and wants to make the world a better place, wants to do everyone a favor, she actually learns riding a bike, which does increase her, uh, let's say, mobility radius of action, however you say that. But then, like, in the middle of the film, she has a fatal accident with the bicycle, and then adult Lara takes this as a blame on herself because she pushed her mother to learn to ride a bike. Of course, accidents happen. We don't know what happens, but there is like an illustration with the mother's first attempts to ride a bike. Their problem is that she can't like hear an upcoming tractor. But let's say I have learned about a lot of deaf people who actually drive. One of my book characters actually is deaf and drives a motorbike. So I totally assume that if you, let's say, you are missing a sense, you're kind of finding other ways to perceive the world around you. If you, okay, like, because, okay, I won't say if you're deaf and drive comment on here because I don't know how good the subtitles are that the computer automatically makes. These are Icelandic wild geese. The film is, of course, set in Germany, so we I don't see Icelandic wild geese there, but yeah, putting on a mask, like Lara often puts on a mask, and she is like more this melancholy character like her father. And she sometimes feels a little bit cut off from her peers. But like she really spreads her wings and flies like through becoming a professional clarinetist. And actually, there is a process of like when the mother is gone, creating an understanding with the father, like, and that does not randomly fall from the sky. Actually, that happens in an instant, and I don't want to spoil the entire movie, but it has been building up through the small things the whole movie long. And Lara gets to shine with her passion, and yes, she makes such a round gesture to tell her father, I love you ever since I have entered this world. And I want to do what my heart burns for. But you'll never lose me. And I think this is important for me to tell even my own family, I'm doing my thing, but you don't lose me. And like, I won't be communicating with you every day. And but I'm still here, and you know where I am, and we can communicate in a way. So I actually also really hope I can improve the communication on this YouTube channel. Like and subscribe if I say something that appeals to you. I am not capable so far of producing subtitles myself. So I am, in this case, actually really grateful for this like automated technology, even though I'm usually skeptical about it. Can can we keep this communication on the table, how to make this more accessible with simple means. And I wish you a great day and see you at the exhibition in Hafnarfjörður today. Bye bye.